Hey everyone, it's Ivan at kitbadger.com, out here for another gear review, and today, talking shoes, these guys right here, which are the Primal Zen by Lems. I have reviewed other Lems in the past, honestly, most of the shoes they've made, and these are kind of like the Primal 2s, but these being the Primal Zen, so what is the real big difference? Still zero drop, incredibly flexible, really lightweight. I will say the Primal 2s are a tiny bit lighter probably because really the difference for me in these is the sole, basically a little bit thicker, a little bit more rugged, and that, depending on what you're looking for, honestly cuts both ways. I will say width-wise, as far as, like, again, the Lems pretty much across the board, made for like a natural foot shape, so really wide toe box. These do keep that. They kind of strayed from that a little bit with, I think, the trailhead, like the original trailheads, but these keep that nice wide toe box, which I actually really like, and again, really lightweight. These also, like, I forget which other one did it, but can't pull it out with gloves, but inside here is a really thin cork footbed, which I also really like in these shoes. And yeah, I've used them quite a bit and they have done a really good job for me. For me personally, these are largely just a everything shoe. Like, I put them on and do all the things, weather permitting. I did not come up to the top of this mountain wearing these. Would have been a poor choice on my part. I will say they have basically this kind of like microfiber and mesh top to them. So they will get wet if water falls on them, and let alone snow. But they're also really airy. So when things are warmer, or honestly, pretty much wear them to the gym all the time, they do a really good job there. And as far as use kind of across the board, I've done a lot of things in them. I actually wore these down in Arizona in 2022 tactical games. They did a great job for me. Kind of across the board, whether it was picking up heavy things and carrying them, sometimes over uneven terrain, dragging sleds, all that stuff, to include actually just kind of a run out and around through the desert, carrying, I guess, underload, body armor, rifles, stuff like that. And definitely use them a bunch in the gym as well. I actually like these more than the Primal 2s for the gym, and part of it is this new sole that they have. The Primal 2s compared, this I guess we'll say, is, I don't know that it's wider, but it's flatter. Like, there's almost a wall to it compared to the Primal 2s, where it almost is kind of rounded over. And so especially if you're doing heavier lifts, I find that with these, you can really, again, zero drop and everything like that, but just with kind of how wide and how flat this is, to include up to the edges, kind of just a more stable foundation, especially doing lifts. So these have done a good job. I will say, in part, being as lightweight as they are, this is not the most durable thing ever. By way of example, just like with the Primal 2s, if you start doing rope climbs, like, you will eat this up, which I have done, but it still grips pretty well and gets you up that rope. Is there anything I do not like with the Primal Zen? Well, in part, just because sometimes I'm lazy. So with the Primal 2s, there's basically no heel cup. So you can essentially leave the shoes tied, like laced up and tied, slip your foot in like a slipper, just pull that heel up around your, well, around your heel, which is really nice. But these you actually have to tie like an adult, because there's actually kind of a rigid heel cup back here. Is it a deal breaker? No, I actually really like these. Honestly, I probably like these more than just the Primal 2s for pretty much everything across the board. Like I said, in the gym, I find these to be really stable, and there's definitely that little bit of added protection depending on the surface you're on, whether it's out in the mountains, stuff like that. Done some backpacking with these, like under load. Again, do a good job for me. Nice, really lightweight. And yeah, pretty much across the board, these have done a good job for me. These are, again, a minimalist shoe. So wide toe box, no like special arch support. Idea being your body can probably figure it out, and you have a lot of like musculature to do a good job for your body if you get the opportunity. But if you're getting into minimalist footwear, probably ease into it at first. Price-wise with these, you're looking at about 120 bucks. I think this is their like asphalt black. They also have kind of a woodland and I think some kind of white. White people wear white shoes, I don't know. I do too much stuff, they would get dirty too fast. But overall, pretty happy with these. There'll be a link down below if you'd like to pick some up. And last but not least, if you appreciate my content and want to support it, greatly appreciate it, whether it's liking and sharing videos or supporting me directly through either Patreon or Utreon. All that stuff helps me go out, create more content for you. But as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.